Welcome to the Science Workshop. Today we're going to make a plane on a stick. Cool. Alright. So the first part is going to be the battery. Alright. Okay, so the first step is making our battery pack. We're going to take two batteries and we're going to tape them together. We want to make sure that we have our positive side with the plus sign and our negative side touching right in the middle. So I'm going to take some tape. It might be easier to have a helping hand because we want to make sure that our batteries are touching in the middle. So I'm going to have my partner help me real quick. He's going to come right over here and he's going to hold the two batteries together. One on each hand, and make sure that they're touching. So I'm going to put one sideways like this and they're going to flip it over and I'm going to put one on the other side. And that should hold it together pretty good. I'm going to add one more. And then I'm going to take a lot more tape. Next I'm going to take two paper clips and a little bit of foil. And I'm going to wrap some foil around the bottom half of my paper clip. And I'm going to tape it to the end of one of my batteries. Should look something like this. Now I'm going to take my other paper clip and I'm going to get a little bit more foil and do the same thing. Place it on the other end, facing the same direction as the last one I put on. And you should have something that looks kind of like this. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit more tape just to make sure that my batteries stay together. Perfect. want to make sure that our folds are facing this way so that they can scoop the air back and make our plane go forward. now that we have our planes running and they're going, like mine was going a little slow, so I'm thinking that maybe my propeller is a little too big, maybe it's a little too fat, it's a little too wide. So I'm gonna trim a little bit down. And when it comes to your folds, you wanna make it sort of like a fan. If you have a fan at home, or even in wherever you're at, you could kind of look at the blades and see how they're designed and try to mimic them, try to copy them. So first you just want to fold them down like we did before, and then bring them up just a little bit because you don't want them to be leaning over too much. And yeah, just mess around with it until you have a propeller that you're happy with. And so now that we got our propeller shaped, let's address some of your guys' problems. So some of you guys might be going backwards. So that means either you guys have your propellers folded the wrong direction, or your wiring is backwards. So I'm gonna reverse my wiring, and I'm gonna put my hand out in front, and I feel air blowing forward. So this makes sense since I wired my airplane backwards and it was working correctly in the first place, right? So maybe if you're having this issue, we try flipping our wires. So we take the wire that we put on one side of our battery and we put it on the other. So I'm gonna put it back to how I originally had it. And now I feel the air blowing back at me. So now it should be going forward. A lot faster since we fixed our propeller. So now I'm going to flip my wiring again. I'm going to switch the wires over to the opposite side, and we're going to see how it acts when I flip the wiring. Like I said before, I feel wind going in front of the airplane, so let's see which way it flies. And it flies in the opposite direction. So when the plane is blowing the wind, the air forward, it's moving backwards, right? And that happens in the other direction as well. When we feel wind blowing in the back, it's going forward, all right? Just like when you're riding on a skateboard, when you push the ground and you go push it backwards, you go forward, and the same with the scooter and anything similar. So that's what's going on here. All right, now I hope you guys enjoy your plane on a stick, and we'll see you guys next time.